So, greetings everyone. Welcome to Just Advanced. And I know I haven't posted in a long while, but yes, I'm back. And yes, I'm going to be back with a bang. And I'm going to be back with a lot of ideas. That's going to be very much fun for the learning curve. And also, maybe just if I get time, I'm definitely going to be going live as well. So, but as of now, we're here in the Title Cup 2024, and we're here with the beautiful game that was played with Duda and Hans Niemann, and it's a beautiful attacking game, and I really enjoyed it, so I thought of sharing it with you, and I hope that you're going to enjoy it as well. So without further ado, I'm going to be starting with the game. So here Hans is with the white pieces, and he starts with e4, and we have e5, knight to f3, and just knight to c6, just going for the normal king's pawn opening, and we have bishop to c4, trying to go for the Italian game, bishop to c5, just normal playing moves, and d3. This is Triple Piano, obviously, and we have knight to f6, and just going for, you can see a lot of moves in this variation, just going for castles, maybe developing the knight, maybe developing the bishop, but here Niemann thought to go for c3. Just normal developing move, and here just d6, just getting that bishop out of its cage, and we have castles, and just going for this a5. Just definitely trying to throw Niemann out of his preparation, and we have this rook to e1 and just h6, not just preventing that bishop to g5, just pinning that knight, and we have this knight bd2, just remaneuvering the knight. You know that the knight is going to come to f1 and going for to e3 or g3 depending on the position. And now finally we have castles kingside, and going as planned, knight to f1, and we have this bishop to e6, just challenging that bishop that's there on c4. And Hans is definitely preparing something with that bishop, and he's definitely ready and going for an all-out attack, and you're gonna need that bishop if you want that attack to happen. So here bishop to b5, not trading pieces, and you don't have the option of ever going a6 and challenging that bishop, so that bishop is definitely not going to be traded. So now we have bishop to b6, just moving that bishop back so this doesn't come to the tempo, and now we have h3, just not allowing that bishop to jump in and pin that knight. And now we have this knight to h7, just removing that knight and trying to find some moves in a close position, as they have played these kinds of moves 1,000 times over. They are GMs, and we have this d4. Now finally going for that central thrust, and we have e captures, c captures, and just finally going for that d5, because you don't want white to play that d5 move and just losing a piece. So here we have e5. You definitely want to keep the position closed, and you want to open the king side because you want to attack. Instead of preventing that, Duda actually goes for it and allows Niemann to attack, because here Duda just goes for knight to g5, and this is not a good move, because here just knight captures, and we have h captures. You have ruined your pawn structure. Queen can easily infiltrate, this bishop can remaneuver, and you have problems on your king side. And how you're going to defend that, it's going to be very much difficult, and that's why it's definitely not a great choice by Duda. But let's see how he deals with this, because here the best move would have been just queen to h5, but queen to h5, then you have problems, because here not going for this move, because that would be a terrible mistake, because then the queen can jump over, then this bishop can target this, and then you know what's going to happen, and you definitely don't want that to happen. But instead going for this f6, well, it might sound like a blunder, because, well, why are you playing f6? You already have weakened pawn structure. You can always go for this, attack the bishop, but you have a very important thing, because if white now tries to go for this bishop to d3 and tries to checkmate you and create threats, you have this bishop, you have this f5, yes, not allowing n percent to happen, because if you went for that f5, that's going to happen, because now white doesn't have much. Yes, that pawn is falling, but even if you go for that bishop captures, now you move the queen away, ask for a queen trade. You have to move the queen away. You don't want to trade queens. You're already in for the attack. Now queen to h4, but now this bishop captures, and now you've lost the central pawn. You're going to lose this pawn as well, and it's going to be very much difficult, because there's not an easy way to protect that pawn. And now even if you go for this rook to e2, then just this queen to g6 comes, and it's very much difficult to play this game. Black defended well, your attack is not happening, and, well, it mostly will end in a draw. But here Hans went for a very weird move that really would have thrown Duda off the course, because here Hans went for this bishop capture on c6. He gave away the bishop. That would have been very much interesting on this diagonal, but, well, now just b captures, and now after bishop to e3, now going for this a4, just pushing that pawn forward. I have no idea why, because here just rook to c1, and now this bishop to a5. Now trying to just attack that rook, and after bishop to d2 blocking, we have bishop captures, bishop capture, trade of bishops, and now that pawn is threatened. The moment queen is defending it, but now after bishop to d7, now you go for this knight to h2, because you want that knight to be on f3 and targeting that pawn and maybe open this position. further in the future, and that could definitely be good because now you can get the rooks into the game and the attack is definitely going to be brutal, and you don't have many pieces supporting black's king side, so it's definitely going to be easy, and it's an easy task forward for Hans, but it's very much difficult to defend in this position for Duda. Let's see how Duda deals with this. We have rook to e8 first, just getting some room for the rook, and now we have rook to c3, finally going for that plan, and we have this rook to b8, but now just rook to g3, and now you can see that rook is definitely amazingly placed. Now in this position is the place where you have to be very much careful if you want to survive in the game and not play a move like what Duda played. Unfortunately for Duda in this position, Duda went for f6, and f6 just simply does not work because here just f4 was played, just opening up the position even further. And in this position, the best move that would have kept Duda a little longer in this game would have been just this. I'm gonna ask you to pause the video and try and find out yourself, because it's a very good position and it's a very good position play. If you're a position player, then you know how important these kinds of moves are in such position. So try and your luck and find it out. So congratulations to everyone who's able to find this move, and the move is no, there's no captures, no, it's no rook maneuvering, but it's just this very weird queen to e7. Yes, getting under the shadow of the rook, and this just does not do anything in this position. Even if you go for that, it just doesn't do anything. And if you go for the right move, which is this knight to f3, just putting up more pressure on that pawn, then you have this queen to b4 and asking for a queen trade. That was the thing that was all along, because that attack is definitely happening, and without this queen, if you remove this queen from the board, then there is no attack in white's camp, and yes, this position would be better for black. So here, just queen to c1, just refusing that, but now this queen caps on b2. And now you go for this e caps on f6. There's too much tension between the rooks and the queen. So here, if you go for the queen trade, queen captures, rook captures, but now you have this g captures. And now going for this f captures, now you can see that you don't want to recapture because that captures comes with the check. So here, just f5, but now this knight to e5. And this position is just such a beautiful position for white. You can see that this knight is covering a lot of squares. These passed pawns are definitely going to be pushed forward. You already have a rook here, and this knight being on a dark square, you have a light square bishop, is definitely not going to be helping. You're going to have to play a passive move if you want to save this pawn, and the position will surely crumble for black sooner than later. So that's what could have happened, but none of this actually happened, and the game was actually short-lived because in this position, Duda did not go for the optimum defense. He went for this g captures on f4, and now it's all trouble because here just queen captures on f4, and now here the one of the worst blunders, because here Duda went for this rook caps on b2, and now you can see the bar shoot up. And try your luck again, pause the video and try to find out the best move in this position which gives you an advantage while I give you a couple of seconds. So congratulations to everyone who's able to find this move, and the move is definitely not captures because you're going to lose your rook. Sorry about that, because you're going to lose your rook with a check, but the move is just simply getting that rook out of the way. And yes, that's right. And if you're able to find that out, congratulations, you're definitely a great attacker. So here rook to f8, but now came even amazing spectacular move, because this is a blunder, this is not doing anything. Here just e caps on f6, because now you cannot recapture, because if this captures, and this captures, you cannot recapture because there's a pin. So Duda tried this rook to f7, but now comes this. There's a lot of ways you can finish this game. You can even go for this beautiful queen to h6, and now that would end the game as well. But even a faster way to end this game is just this beautiful rook caps on g7, and that was played in the game. Here rook captures and this f captures, and after king captures, we have this queen to f7 check, king to h8, and now the final blow, which is this rook to f6, and there's no stopping this rook to h6. That would be checkmate. You can give up your queen, but that would just be being silly. So here it was on this move, on move 31, that Yanchis to Duda resigned the game, and Hans created this spectacular miniature, defeating a player of Duda's caliber in just 31 moves. So yeah, thank you all for watching. I'll be coming up with another amazing game and games like these, so stay tuned for that. And I'd really like your support, so subscribe to the channel and follow me. Thank you all for watching. See you soon.